Hello and welcome to a very special edition of Wake and Jake Friday. Hello. And we are doing some winners and losers post-winter meetings where we just got back from. Had a nice time. We'll talk about it throughout this episode, I'm sure. And yeah, we'll do some high-level stuff. I guess it was high-level stuff. I get low, too. I guess it's kind of easy to be like the teams that sign guys won, because there wasn't a ton of signing. So I kind of want to peel that back just a little further and see where we land on that. It was kind of all, I don't want to say all quiet on the Western Front. We got Alonso. We had just gotten back, but winter meetings were still going on. Pretty crazy. I know we processed that all in live time, but, you know, that's currently the leader in the clubhouse. Player shows up at camp, and you're like, whoa, Pete Alonso's in an Orioles jersey. How did this happen? So we'll go through all that. We'll go through some of the other hubbub and stuff we heard while we're at winter meetings. That Padres front office, watch out. Stay away from them. If you tune in here and talking baseball, you know that Ali Marmol, I'm rooting for the Cardinals this year. I can't believe that happened. Too far. I had a low moment where I was like, I'm kind of on the Cardinals now. I went to befriend John Jay on Instagram, already followed me. So now I'm the asshole. So now I'm a jerk. Again, that stuff will be sprinkled in throughout. Let's talk ball. That's what we're here doing. December 12th. Wow. Where's the time go, people? Nobody knows. I think I'm going to hop back and forth between winners and losers, some silly, some not. I'll start off with a loser. That's what America likes.
Ooh.
Huh. I'm going to go baseball in the hole. Whoa. Jake, you just went to the MLB offices. We did. We had a nice meeting. We looked at the replay room. We got an actual, doo-wop of the replay room. Like, we kind of acted the scene out. It's pretty intense. It was pretty cool. It is the best technology in the world. I think there's some differences on how we would depict everything. We're kind of peel back the onion, show the world. And I think they're going to get there one day. And then we talked to some rules committee people, and they were like, what do you got? I was like, okay, let's talk about the outfield shift. And they were ready to. So knowing the way baseball operates, it'll take some years to move some things. But I don't know. It kind of went really, really good over there. And they respect us, which was kind of uncomfortable for me and Jimmy. That being said, winter meetings. We're trying to make winter meetings a thing, or at least baseball would depict that. And I don't know, we went down there this year, and I was kind of hyped. I missed a couple years in a row, just other stuff going on, that I was excited to get to winter meetings. And then there was a follow-up of, okay, what moves the needle? Like, we're planning out our winter meetings, and we're like, well, let's plan on going live every night. There's definitely going to be some breaking news that we'll just read and react from there. And it was kind of cool because when you look at the free agent list every year, it's kind of like how many guys would you live react to? And then there's another caveat on that is the team. Like, I think Pete Alonso's signing was probably going to be live and breaking, even if it was back to the Mets. 150 mil plus. Normally, there's like a number barrier that cracks in. Although, if Mike King gets 100 mil and he signs with the Reds, I don't know if that would have been going live. I mean, by the time we were thirsty for a transaction, probably. But the names that I think we definitely 100% would have gone live. Or how about this, 90%, and then I'll put in a team factor too. Because I just saw Murakami, and depending what that contract comes back at and the team, I think there could be, if he's under 100 mil and it's kind of a random team, it's kind of a B topic, no offense. Guy could be, I have some Mets theories coming. If you came here for Mets theories, stay tuned.
Hey, winners and losers of winter meetings. You're probably expecting the Mets to come
Mets have
up.
been a popular topic in that. And I had some thoughts. I tried to fade the fade. You can't fully fade it. I'll try. Guys that we would have gone live for, kind of no questions asked. Kyle Tucker, Bo Bichette, Alex Bregman. I think Framber. Cody, Murakami. Ranger Suarez, a little team dependent. I'll put a finger down for now. Schwarber happened. Alonso happened. Amai, I think when it happens, I think that's going to count. And I guess I can stop it there for now. Diaz is interesting in the way the timeline worked out on that. But, I guess you go into winter meetings with 10 guys that we just counted of like, hey, if it happens, we're basically hopping on the sticks. And again, it's become a very cool thing where we are positioned in the baseball world that, our Pete Alonso talking baseball has done really well. I mean, we went live for it. I know you guys don't fully care about the end result. We do because it allows what we can do as a company. We're at 51K views in 2 days. That's more than Diaz and Schwarber signing, which was a day before that. That would be one of our biggest episodes going back a little while now, going back to our free agent prediction video, which is an episode that cranks for us every year. So I guess there is a little bit of the business side creeping in there on my end, but I'm being open and admitting that to you guys. Jolly went live on Shea Station, and it's looking like it's going to be the biggest video ever on there after losing Alonso and Diaz. Again, why do you care? You kind of shouldn't. I guess I just care from going back to the fan standpoint of, like, winter meetings should be a thing, and we've talked about putting in, like, signing periods or something of that nature, kind of making a deadline effect to it that it scares me. It feels like one of those ripple effects that until you do it, you don't see a ripple effect. Like, I could see us putting in an MLB signing deadline, and I could see us being like, whoa, let's never do that again. Like, I could see teams not signing anybody, waiting till the next signing period just to put pressure on the players. Like,
just squeeze everybody.
Yeah, people just find a way to manipulate rules that I think there's, now that this has become a company organizational thing for us, there's a business side and there's a fan side that it would just be a really cool thing for baseball to own if there was a way to make winter meetings really matter. Or, John Mioli, shout out, covers the Baltimore Birds. Could be a big year for John. I think I was going on a mini winter meetings rant, and he was like, man, if you incentivize these teams with like 4th round picks, do you know how many signings would get done? And I was like, oh my God, that's so true and so pathetic.
Yeah. Even if it was like you get an extra pick for like signing, like an extra 10th before signing whatever day.
Let's play a game here.
That could help.
Let's go. Oh, wow. Devin Williams. Guess what year Devin Williams was drafted?
Like a 2018, 19?
That's where I mentally was. 2013.
Wow.
Crazy, right?
He's sneaky, not that young. Not to say he's just a normal free agent age, but we think of him. Still of like his rookie.
You think year. Of relievers kind of getting called up quick nowadays, kind of. But yeah, he was out of high school. Didn't have that. So yeah, 2013 draft. So he's not a good example. Let's who's drafted in 2018? When's Volpe drafted?
I think he's a 19er.
Okay, that's fine. Let's go to the 4th round. Do I even know how to get there?
Draft 4th round.
Okay, I'm getting there. 3rd round, 4th round. Okay, so let's say 4th round picks. And this is from 2019, so I don't know how good this year is. But here are some guys from 2019 in the 4th round that have made the show. It starts off with Joey Ortiz, which, okay, kind of a nice start. Headline Corbin Burns trade. Michael Massey, again, nice swing. Will it fully click for Massey? Both those guys have combined for 5.2 career WAR. So, couple guys that haven't made the majors, guy with negative WAR, so I won't highlight him. Matt Brash, who's been a solid reliever. Cody Freeman, negative WAR. Tyler Fitzgerald for the Giants. Remember when he went nuts for a little bit? Jake Magnum. Eric Miller's throwing some bullpen innings. Andre Palante. Brenton Doyle.
He's the big winner.
So, yeah, he's the leader in the clubhouse with 4.9 career WAR. And then it's Tyler Fitzgerald and Joey Ortiz next. That, again, there's, I guess, MLB contributors. There's a little more there than I expected. But it's still the point that, okay, if we could make this thing more of a spectacle and get eyes on baseball, and again, some of you don't care about this. You just want your team to sign the players. I want that too. That can be the net result. These things actually motivate teams. We've talked to people inside of baseball. It's not a joke. Like, 4th or 5th round picks still very much motivate teams. I mean, it just gives you another chance to hit on a guy. Like, baseball, if you got a top 10 pick, things are looking a lot better than especially they used to do in, like, the 90s. First round pick, obviously. But from there, there's a significant drop-off, and I'm sure the data nerds could give you more information on whatever that actually is. But the fact is that there's 4th and 5th round picks every year that don't sniff the show. No offense to those guys. Congratulations. Some good signing bonuses in there. I'd take it. If we're trying to make MLB Winter Meetings a thing, incentivize it a little bit like that. If that makes teams move, good. A team shouldn't change their whole organization over it, but these teams are still going to get the business done either way. So, why not? Or even maybe if it's the comped players, the teams don't have to pay as much comp or something like that. I don't know. We can get creative in a way that won't game change the game. I'm sure we'll hear about one player every 5 years who it's like, they were actually the comp pick when they signed that guy. But how good would that have been? That's still a good thing for the game. Like, if you're a small market team, I guess you're getting more mad that the big market teams are signing guys and getting a pick. I get that. But also, you're choosing to not sign guys. So, again, we'd have to figure out what those rules actually look like. But I know, and again, it was day 4 or 5 for me in Florida after visiting my mother. You're in a hotel lobby. The carpet is the same. The lights are getting bright. We're also in Disney, which was doubling down. We couldn't leave. So again, maybe too close to the sun there. But if you're baseball, you have an opportunity here that there are eyes on this time period every year. And through, we got in Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Tuesday morning was
when we got
Schwarber
the flurry.
And Diaz back-to-back.
And Wednesday, Pete.
So
technically, Sunday isn't a day of it. And zooming out, playing the other side a little bit, Winter Meetings does typically get the biggest rush and the biggest moves of the offseason stuff. Happy to incentivize more of it, like we're laying out there. Just 2 of the last 3 years were a bit slow.
Yeah, I just think we can do better. Depending what that is, and I don't think we need to leave it as much of a crapshoot as it is now, showing up and being like, will they, won't they, CBA, whatever. Incentivize it. Because I just think that would be really good for the sport. And even 2 or 3 other signings make those 3-4 days feel that much amplified. Or even, okay, for the small market teams, could you incentivize trade somehow? And think about that. I don't know. It's a little thing that front offices would be so H'd up about that probably doesn't matter, but can make a time when all eyes are on the sport just a little bit better. So I don't know. That would be dramatic if I had to open a show that way. I didn't have to. I still did for you guys. No, we did do. We opened a merch line. We did it on Shopify years ago. 2017, 2018. We're like, how the hell do we do any of this? Shopify helped us figure it out, and we are still with them today. And we relaunched our merch store on Shopify with our new Slashline site. It was a dream. We brought the idea. Shopify brought the execution. Check out what Shopify can do for you. Life's a home run when Shopify's on your side. That's because they got all the info. They got the scouting reports. Where are your people coming from? What do they like? And so much more with their group of AI tools. So if you want to be like us, start building your brand from the ground up, it's time to go over to Shopify and start your trial today. Click that link, shopify.com/Yanks. If you're ready to leave the amateurs and head on over to the big leagues. Thank you, Shopify. I guess I could do a quick winner. And I think it's the most obvious winner. I guess I'll see what else I find. Baltimore. Baltimore, we didn't know what we didn't know with Baltimore. I think there was a lot of us that were like, hey, they might just chalk it up to injuries or the game, and they might run the same thing out there. Maybe some more pitching reinforcements, but as you guys know, on Ryan Mountcastle stan, that I was like, hey, last year was clearly a down year for him. Maybe they just count on him bouncing back, and they count on Adley counting back. And there is a kicker here with winter meetings that the Taylor Ward Grayrod trade, which again I keep giggling about. Do I keep giggling about? I'm 36. The other thing, BBD can verify this. I keep telling people I'm 37.
Yeah.
And I just don't know what it is.
Because you're not.
I'm not. My birthday happened in October, so it's not like a recent thing. I told almost everyone at winter meetings I was 37, and then like the part that actually sucked was like I didn't realize it instantly. And then a minute and a half in, like the conversation had moved on. I go, I'm 36. And they'd be like, we don't care. Stephen A. Smith gif. We don't care. Google it. It's a really good gif. Work it into your group chat.
I mean, and not to be rude, but like those are kind of the same age.
Doesn't matter. Those ages do not matter. Those ages, 35 is like the last 30. And then you start going up in increments of 5. 35, you can be president. 40, you're halfway to death. I guess 45 is kind of out, so then it's 50. Anyways. The Orioles. The Grayrod Taylor Ward trade that if any other team pretty much had gotten Grayson Rodriguez, would be like, birds, baby, what is you doing? If a lot of other teams got Taylor Ward, we'd be like, damn, Taylor Ward, watch out. Like, changing teams, like what kind of left field do they have? Both of those teams had just a little bit of funk on them that you looked at that trade, and for the pitcher that we thought Grayson Rodriguez was, the deal didn't make sense, that you're scared of injury, you're scared of performance. For 1 year of Taylor Ward slotted into like the cleanup spot. And it was like, okay, Gunnar Henderson, Taylor Ward, that could be 60 homers. That's a nice little lefty-righty, middle of the lineup. Sure. Hey, how are you, Baltimore? Well, I am a massive believer in lineup balance. I think every postseason we see lineup balance matter more and more. The Baltimore Orioles signed Pete Alonso, the career Mets home run leader, to play first base for them. Could there be some DH first base with Samuel Basayo maybe learning the position? I don't know how they're going to handle all that. That's none of my business. But I know Pete can play a fine first base, a first base that doesn't hinder your team. And the other thing that gets me with Pete, who signs a very similar contract to Schwarber, I think there's some incentives that can get him to a little bit of a different place because Schwarber is 3 years older. Mm-hmm.
But on its baseline, it's just the same deal, $1 million more a year.
Right? Along with not clogging the DH spot. No offense to Schwarbs. And when you're a player like Schwarber, you're not necessarily clogging the DH spot.
You're allowed to.
But I will tell you, and maybe your team treats it differently, but watching Giancarlo Stanton with the Yankees the past few years has been, when a player gets banged up, it changes your team. If you have an outfielder that has like a leg injury that they could still play, I mean, the biggest one for the Yanks is literally Judge. That Judge, he had the throwing thing. Has he had lower body stuff?
Not recently, but yeah, the toe.
It changes your team's formula that it's, I guess if you haven't had someone clogging down the DH spot on your team, you may not have even noticed. You're just like, oh yeah, they're going to DH a couple games, kind of get their feet back under them. That it does change how your team operates. And again, you end up having the better player in the lineup. But, when you lose a one-run game and you're looking at your DH spot and you're looking at the player in the wrong position or whatever it may be, your brain starts spinning a little bit. So
you're left a little inflexible. Yankees, we've gotten a unique perspective on that because Stanton misses time, so we get to see 2 months a year that they do the cycle through.
There's almost a bizarre thing when Stanton misses time that as a Yankee fan we get a little excited because we're like, oh, shoot, this is good. We get Judge off his feet. We're going to get a look at this guy. Again, a little bizarre in Yankee problems. Hey, here's the thing, and BBD, maybe send me a Sunday text, which I never say that.
Wow.
Pictures only. I've had clear frustration with how Pete Alonso's free agency has been treated, and I don't need to go on that rant again. Although, again, if you had signed him for the contract he wanted last year, you'd be sitting pretty right now for the Mets or any team that, would 125 have gotten it done last year? I think so. Can't confirm that for sure because he did want the Mets, so he came to grips with it. And I think the other thing here, let me bring up Kyle Schwarber's page. Schwarber, 56 home runs last year. You won't hear anything from me on that. The dude is an absolute baller, and it just feels right. He's got 47 and 23, 46 and 22, which led the National League. I mean, Schwarber goes toe-to-toe. It's him, Judge, Ohtani with the home run leaderboard going back the last handful of years. Alonso, kind of the same boat. And for all this stuff about Alonso's not going to age well, Kyle Schwarber's last 4 years in Philadelphia, 226, 349, and 856 OPS. Pete Alonso's career, 253, 341, and 857 OPS. So I don't know. I'm excited to watch the next steps of it because if I'm wrong, it's something I have to add to my old guy database when I'm Mad Dog or Francesa just yelling into the abyss and I don't know, Pete Alonso, Polar Bear. I thought he was going to age well. The thing I need to research it's going to be a little bit of a Jake-alytics research. I look at a lot of baseball reference pages. Pete's is clean, man. Pete's is really clean. That, I don't know. I guess I'm trying to think of the baseball player who hits 34-plus home runs a year, and then they just fall off the map. I know Pujols slowed down a little bit, and Pete probably shouldn't even be compared to Pujols. Definitely. Very few should be compared to Pujols. I don't know. Pete is 31 years old. Modern medicine, I don't know. I'm okay with it. And it makes the Taylor Ward move feel so much better. Again, that trade could go down really badly. If Grayson Rodriguez gives them 2 years as a starting pitcher, the Angels almost win the trade. The Orioles were trading out of fear of we can't even slot this guy in our rotation. We almost need to sign another arm to ensure Grayson Rodriguez, which I talked myself out of because Gray Rod still doesn't get paid. Anyways, the Orioles have a fun, balanced middle of their lineup that I'm very excited to see the next steps for. Jordan Westburg, his stats ended up in a better spot than I had realized for last year. A 770 OPS, which, again, nothing to sneeze at or nothing to super brag about, but as a young baseball player, could there be more in there? Potentially. Gunnar Henderson, lefty. There was some, I forget which article I was reading, but they said that like his loft and swing path was literally just a click off. Like that's how we would have described it before we had information. That he put 5 WAR up in a year that he came in with an oblique injury, and then was kind of just like a click off throughout the season. He still had a very nice year at the shortstop position. Pete Alonso behind him. Pete Maul, do you know where I stand? Adley Rushman, switch hitting, which again, we've just gone righty, lefty, righty, switch. Taylor Ward. So between Pete Alonso and Taylor Ward, and sometimes we take the Angels on seriously, 36 plus 38 we all know is
72.
74?
4.
74. Yeah. Yes. The Orioles added 74 home runs. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's a home run every other game. Math. Not really how it works. The Orioles, we didn't know if they were going to get involved in this free agency. If they did, we thought it was going to be pitching. It was interesting talking to some Orioles people and hearing the murmurings of like, with how last year went down, there was a feeling in the organization we need to do something different. The Orioles lineup, even when they were originally clicking, you never looked at the lineup and you're like, oh, shoot. Like, we got to play Baltimore today. It was kind of death by 1,000 cuts. It was up and down the lineup. There was a lot of young, talented guys, and how are they going to get it done? Now you look at that middle of the lineup. I've seen what a lefty-righty combo can do. I'm not saying Gunnar and Pete is Soto and Judge, but where Gunnar could be on a shortstop platform and where Pete is just a mauler. Day in, day out, you make one wrong pitch in the first inning of Baltimore, and you're going to be down a couple runs. So couple massive ads. The other interesting thing for Baltimore going forward is, are they just going to lefty-right it through the season? Do they have another transaction to balance out their team? Because right now at the bottom of their lineup, the lefties are listed as Dylan Beavers. Nice stats last year, people. Silly name. Colton Cowser, Samuel Basayo, all lefty. So, in theory, if there was a lefty on the mound, you have Tyler O'Neill, who, remember, they gave him a big contract, and when he's healthy and plays, he normally looks pretty good. Jeremiah Jackson, young player, 25, put up some stats last year. And Ryan Mountcastle, traditionally mauls lefties, but not last year. That the Orioles lineup, Brother Jeff tweeted it out, they could come at you with arguably the best lineup in baseball right now. And between Trevor Rogers, Kyle Bradish, Dean Kramer, Tyler Wells, not exactly your murderer's rows of pitchers. Cade Povich should be thrown in there too. With another year of seasoning, what can he be as a pitcher? They added Helsley and Kittredge on the back end. Baltimore's in it. They're going to add another starting pitcher. It's at what level are they going to add that person? And I don't know. I think there's just so many times in baseball that we've seen it find a way. The Orioles weren't bad last year, after their atrocious start. Let's get one more Jake Alytics out for you on the Baltimore Birds. Tony Mansolino, when he took over, was 60-59. Not great, but not bad. There's so many teams that are bad. When they fired Hyde, he was 15-28. So that's a hole that is really tough to dig out of in this sport. And then even when Mansolino took over, they stay skidding. Didn't think I was going to go there. Let's see. I think the worst number I can give you for Baltimore is 16-34. 16-34. So that means they went 1-6 after Hyde left. So if you take that out, Mansolino was 59 and I'm so bad at math. 59-53. I think that's a playoff team, which again, baseball gets pretty tight. They also got Trevor Rogers back. He was the best pitcher in baseball. Not sure if he's going to do that again. But I'm not sure Baltimore is going to poop their pants. And having I don't know. I just think there's something you cannot measure about Pete Alonso being in the lineup every day, literally, with just the threat to hit a home run. One bad pitch, any bad pitch to that guy. That Baltimore, it's hard to not picture them as the big winners. I didn't think I was going to get that ranty on it, but go Birds. Losers. How about I pair up New York quick? That's just easier. The Mets are obvious reasons, and people are going LOL Mets hard, and that's because you can. And I'm a person that has waved the LOL Mets flag before. No, I won't shy down from that. I guess from the outside, I'm more mad about Pete than Devin. Or excuse me, not Devin, Edwin. I guess Devin's involved too. He's part of the conversation here. Pete, just something icky about baseball that, Pete Alonso, the career Mets home run holder. I was trying to do some Pete math the other day on can he be 500 home runs? Can he be a Hall of Famer? Again, he got started a little late out of college, and COVID hurt him a little bit. He's got 264 up until this point of his career. So again, Pete would have to double his career, and his father time sneaks in. That can be kind of tough. But I don't know, 400 homers. I think Pete could be a couple seasons away from that. Again, maybe now I'm over projecting, but I don't know, man. Pete liked being a Met. He's kind of like a video game first baseman, like the big old righty who hits homers, and he's kind of got a meathead personality a little bit. That something just feels wrong about it in that way. That Edwin Diaz, I know he was so good for the Mets last year, but we've seen how volatile a bullpen can be. We've seen how volatile a reliever can be. I don't think Edwin should be treated as a Tanner Scott or a generic bullpen. Look how bad this guy was that year. Because Edwin just has a track record of impressiveness that, Dodgers, they're kind of always winning. Let's see what their next moves are. Fascinated if the Glass Now rumors are real. Are the Dodgers going to get off of money? Doesn't make sense to me. But I'm not the guy paying 110% in salary taxes. That's right?
Yeah.
Diaz's contract is in theory 140 mil or something.
As far as what it costs the Dodgers to do it, something like that.
So again, if I was signing the checks, that might be more of a conversation, and maybe that will be as the offseason develops. Also, I know I moved on from this. Just a reminder, Pete Alonso led the NL in doubles last year. 41 doubles, 38 homers, 1 triple. That tells me 80 extra base hits. That's almost one every other game. Is he going to keep saying that? It's a lot closer than the 74 I used before.
In the case of...
It's just not tight enough.
In the case of him and Schwarber, they're... I don't know what you call... Bat to ball is what I'll start with. Just their ability to get hits is understated.
Yeah,
both of those guys.
I mean,
Pete leading the league in doubles is cool.
Yeah, it goes into my weird. Well, it's just hard to hit doubles nowadays. I did my whole rant on that. That it's like, wow, good for you, Peter. And then Pete's a career 253 batting average with a 272 last year, and again, 272 in today's baseball is like 300 back in the day. That's very impressive. Let's see what happens there. And again, on-base percentage matters with these guys. Although, Schwarber, if you go back in his past, he's got a couple of real low batting average years. That was kind of...
Schwarber, reinvented himself. Pete got labeled the same way and just kind of has one season where he even approached that.
Yeah.
That's just a down year.
Yeah.
Pete's just good.
And again, Pete has 2 arguable down years. One of them, he hit 46 home runs. So that's tough to negotiate from that standpoint. And then it's the year after that where his other stats are up. He hit 34 home runs. So, I don't know. I want to do my own Jakealytics research on it to see what other, not a lot of baseball references look this good for that many years, and then they just drop off. I'll see what I can find. The New York teams, Mets, kind of obvious reasons. Say something nice about Devin Williams' challenge. Devin Williams, career numbers in the National League are amazing. So that can be your spin zone. 1.83 ERA. Career in the National League. Again, I understand and everything about Pete being like, hey, man, like that was our guy. And Diaz felt that way for Mets fans. And you just gave this money to Devin Williams, and you lost by like $1 million per year, or at least these are the numbers that came out, that it was like, should we have just gotten stuff done with Edwin and then figured out Devin? I don't know. I know how it feels right now, feels wrong. It'll be very interesting to check in 3 years. How do Edwin Diaz's numbers look and how do Devin Williams' numbers look? And let's be honest, like the Mets are going to be graded by the rest of this offseason. I'm wondering, Uncle Steve Cohen, who owns the Mets. I guess I don't believe in this perfect setup because Stearns runs the team and Stearns is baseball, and it's part of the reason Milwaukee is set up how they are, et cetera, et cetera. I don't know. Would the Mets business side, casino side, if they brought in Murakami and Amai, like if they just doubled down and the Mets were going that route, because the Mets have to make a route. And that's where, again, I'm more mad about Pete than Edwin. You can revamp a bullpen. A bullpen can feel bad, good or the Dodgers had a God mode bullpen going into last season, and it was horrific. Tanner Scott, Kirby Yates. Remember how many times we went over Kirby Yates' numbers? And this was before all the other studs in their bullpen. Things fell apart. That I get. Again, if I was signing the checks and we were talking about value you get off of paying guys in the bullpen, I kind of get it. Like it ain't truly how it works down there. You want those guys. And that's why it's easy to be like, hey, Braves. Raisel Iglesias. They also got Robert Suarez, who was so good. Like, I think the Braves have 2 guys in their bullpen who saved, upwards of 30 games each. Had that stat coming in. Might have just blew it. I don't think Raisel got there. Let's see. 29 saves for Raisel. God damn. 40 for Suarez. But, I could show you on the other side, like, I think Reisel's going to be 36. Suarez is going to be 35 going in opening day next year. So, that they're a little bit of concern there. It's a long season. And you can argue both sides there. Like, these guys are veterans that know their body and how to get through the year. Father Time's also undefeated. Mets, it's what's the pivot? Is it Belly? Is it Murakami? Is it in the pitching staff? Is it a big trade that we don't know is coming? Very interesting to see. And at the end of the day, it's the winning cures everything, that if they bring in a couple ball players and make the Mets a better baseball team, that's what Mets fans want. That, yes, right now they get to be emotional and sad because they just lost 2 of their favorite players. You lose your closer, which is always heartstrings either way, depending how that goes. Ask Devin. And then it's Alonso, who's career home run record holder for your franchise. Like, it's a special thing that, hey, if the Mets come back and they play good baseball and they make the moves that need to happen, good. If they don't, everyone's going to be like, what is going on? Like, we have the money. We brought in Soto. It's never been a one-person sport. I mean, let's not forget the Simeon-Nimmo exchange. Baseball-wise, the Mets didn't make out on the better side of that trade.
As far as, just expected value.
Bookkeeping-wise, they did.
And skill sets they're looking for, yes, but
baseball-wise, they took a step back in that deal, and now they lost Pete, and now they lost Edwin. There are a lot of guys still out there. Yankee side, it's a very weird feeling this offseason. again, you'll see my Yankee fan will leak out in this message that I'm hoping it's smoke and mirrors and that we're going to be talking about the Yankees getting involved in a lot of things and we don't know their path. We don't know their path. The Yankees made their first Rule 5 draft pick in over a decade, right?
2011 was the last time they made one. Do you know when the last time they kept a Rule 5 pick?
I do not.
1973.
Okay. So, again, maybe I shouldn't get too exhausted over the Yankees drafting Cade Winquist. Good stuff. Little Clark Schmidt windup scouted.
Good velo.
Stretched out. Put him in the pen. People don't. There's not a lot of inkling that what are the Yankees going to do. There's not a clear path. The quotes are weird. I don't know. It's that time of year where you can't sink your teeth into, what are the Yankees front office supposed to say? Like, oh, we're going after this guy and this guy. Like, that's obviously not how it works. But just a weird feeling as the Blue Jays have made moves. The Orioles have made moves, both significant. Both have brought in $150 million plus players amongst other moves. Boston hasn't made their move yet, right?
No.
Nothing.
Like Sonny and
Sonny.
Oviedo, they have made moves and are better than they were 3 weeks
Sonny
ago.
Gray, they've added a 2 or 3 starter. Like, that's significant.
I know their fans want another guy better, but that's a big move.
Yeah, you wouldn't say that. Yes. Where the Yankees, it really feels like a push. It feels like it should be a push come to shove, and people aren't sure how they're going to approach it. There's currently a lot of young guys in their lineup who all have their flaws. Jazz Chisholm's on the trade block, and he's arguably their third best two-way player. Right now, probably their second best because it was Cody Bellinger. And at a valuable position, a position that you can't necessarily replace someone super easily, that the path isn't clear.
They're in a funny spot because off the top of my head, nothing that's happened has felt like I wish the Yankees did that, or I thought that was something they might do.
Right.
So in a way, all the options we thought were available still very much are. And just like because of where things are at, they can do so many things that while they've made it, they keep explicitly saying they're not just waiting for Belly to go and before they do anything else. They need something to kind of dictate what direction they need to go, I think is what they're saying in their head. That's not specifically a Belly choice, but
right.
They're in a very odd spot. They're just not seeming close on anything.
After 23, they missed the postseason. You knew there was going to be a big splash. That was Soto. We knew that they were going to go after Soto hardcore, and we almost nailed the post if they didn't get Soto plan to a T. And it was a decent plan, by the way.
For year one, it was good.
Yeah, it missed. By the end of the year, there was a few misses in the proceeds. New York lost. Welcome home. No, it doesn't. Arena Club. Ooh. It's Arena Club. I just like the club. We're all fam. What show is that?
Is that Broad City?
Yes. Club, we all fam. Arena Club. They're fam too. And if you're ready to get in the trading card business game rush, Arena Club's original slab packs, they bring the thrill of ripping packs combined with the power to buy, sell, trade all in one place. With slab packs, you can rip a wide range of packs starting at $25 and up. Every pack has grails that are at least 20x the price of the pack. Once you open the pack, instantly, each slab is added to your showroom immediately. Available for listing and auction, trading, or simply just showing it off. With every slab pack, Arena Club will make you an instant offer on your card based on market value. That's right. No guessing, no waiting. You get an instant offer for the estimated fair market value, accepted on the spot, simple, fast, and risk-free. Right now, you can get 20% off your first slab pack or card purchase by going to arenaclub.com/WakeandJake. Use code WakeandJake over at Arena Club. 20% off. Go check it out. Get in the game. I'll start doing some more quicker hitters because I was getting lost in that just a little bit. I guess baby snaps. I know this was kind of beforehand, but Dylan Cease still wins. None of the other pitchers have gotten in the game yet. That I don't know. Dylan Cease has the biggest free agent contract so far, $210 million for 7 years. I mean, Framber, Ranger Suarez, Mike King, Amai. These guys have not conducted business yet. So, and again, it's kind of a weird grouping. It's kind of not a clear pecking order. It's like you got Framber and knockoff Framber and Ranger. There's a little hiccup there. If you're not watching the YouTube, go subscribe and check it out. Framber, there's a little bit of weirdness there, not a ton. Cease, again, the ERA was high. Amai doesn't have the hype that some of the guys have had, and we don't know what to do with that. Hey, if I'm Dylan Cease, I think anytime you sign a massive contract like that, times are good. Hey, I'm just saying if Framber came out with a contract that was 7 years, 225, Dylan Cease might be like, well, I don't know. He doesn't have to do that. Hey, he is still good. He is covered. And there were some rumors that he told his agent he wanted Toronto. Again, who knows by the time.
When in the process do you say that?
Who knows by the time it gets out. But I do know he's got $210 million coming his way, coming off not a great season, that Dylan Cease stays winning. Schwarber, Philly, and Cincinnati was a popular topic in some of the articles and while we were there. I'm going null all around. Schwarber, I would put as a winner. He gets the biggest DH contract. If you don't count Ohtani, because there is a little loophole there. Just a little loophole. DHs that don't pitch, Schwarber got the biggest contract, so that's good for him. Again, coming off 56 homers or whatever it is, one of the most well-liked guys in the game. But it is, I'll tell you what, you zoom out and you say a lot of front office buzzwords. A 33-year-old DH, again, he did everything he could to earn every dollar he could. But yeah, let's check in on that one in a few years. Although if you're a Phillies fan, you have to be stoked. And that's, I guess, Phillies fans for right now, just the fact that you're going to watch Schwarber and Harper, Trey Turner. That a chunk of the core, the team could have felt completely different. Schwarbs is back. You're going to watch these guys for years. It's kind of that sick baseball feeling. And yeah, this was another fake Jake research assignment I said I was going to do. How many teams that have had stars kind of run it out to the end together got that sad? Kind of the old Yankees. They ran it out. And I'll tell you what, the fan base wasn't miserable. The fact the Yankees won in 2009 and, you still got to see Derek Jeter play, that was kind of cool. I know we play for rings, and it's part of the reason we get sad now and then, but, you also like watching the guys you play. Guys that you're going to remember forever, you get to watch more Schwarber. You get to watch more Harper. You get to watch more Turner. Again, baseball has a way that one of those guys could probably be off the Phillies in 3 years, and you just say, well, that's baseball, huh? But yeah, I'm leaving it as null because, again, Schwarber returns to Philly, so them looking to build on their team, they still haven't really gotten to that part of the process, but he's in. Cincinnati, and I'll slightly rude hat on where they were hey, Schwarber entertained it because he's from there. There's not a lot of guys from there. Cincinnati has been looking for a bopper / signature piece, even though they have Ellie and Hunter Green, although those guys probably want to test the free agent market if they keep continuing how they're continuing. And Schwarber would have been a nice little piece that if Ellie De La Cruz did go in a couple years or Hunter Green did go in a couple years, you could still point at Kyle Schwarber. I guess for me, I don't know. I don't know the reality of the situation, the way that a lot of writers are talking about it, that I do respect. They made it seem like Cincinnati was a very real option for Schwarbs. For me, that I don't want to Pittsburgh them because that is a different scenario. But how real is it? Like, if Kyle Schwarber got matching offers from Cincy and Philly, what's the next step of that process? In my head, and I don't know how much the man loves Ohio, in my head, Cincinnati was going to have to win that bidding war, whatever that looked like. I don't know if it's another year. I don't know if it's more money per year. I'd like to assume Kyle Schwarber has a place in Philadelphia because he's been playing there. To pick up and not start anew, but pick up and go and leave the Phillies, who, like, depending how this Phillies offseason winds down, they're still going to be one of the non-Dodger favorites in baseball.
They're a team that's got a shot.
To go to Cincinnati, where the rumor is, are they shopping Hunter Green? Again, I haven't believed in that one, but I'm just saying, like, Kyle Schwarber signs with Cincinnati, and we're like, this is fun. Will they make the playoffs? Kyle Schwarber signs with the Phillies, and it's like, how deep are they going to go in the playoffs? So I guess for me, that's where some people are saying the Reds are losers in this. Maybe they are. Again, maybe I don't have all the information. But for me, this is a Jake Yogi quote. Things don't get real till they get real. Like, I guess let's put this in, like, our human terms, or even stuff I can think of. Like, when I was at my old company, I remember applying to jobs. I left my first company, CED. I guess I can dox them. And then I joined Rexel, a competitor. And the way Rexel was set up was more how you'd picture, like, a big nationwide company. Like, they had a big internal portal and stuff like that. CED kind of operated as each branch was their own. So when I was at that next company and I kind of made a decision, I was like, hey, I want to climb the ladder. I want to use my marketing degree. They had a job portal online where you could just, like, apply. Like, once you were in the zone, like, you could search up inside sales, any branch across the country, bang, just click the button. So I kind of made a decision. I was like, I got to leave Connecticut. But, some of the cities I applied for, what does the job offer look like?
Just different.
Because it's not real until it is. Like, okay, am I going to leave living with my buddies in Connecticut that I've known my whole life to go live in Reno, Nevada for the same salary? I don't know anyone. Gets a little question marky. Austin, Texas, same salary, probably at that time. That for the Cincinnati Reds and the opportunity listed versus the Phillies, I don't know. Again, I don't know what was said behind doors, but I currently have all of it as null except Schwarber and the Phillies fans that get to watch Kyle Schwarber. Let's keep cranking through here. What else do we like? Dodgers always win. I think we just need to get used to that a little bit. God, they're going to be good next year. A little teaser. Tough to be in the NL West, huh? It was me. It was BBD. It was the San Diego Padres front office at the hotel bar.
And we're going to the DR.
One of their international scouts, a little bit of a character. He was on one. We had a good time with him. They're like, was he their number 2 guy to Preller? The other guy?
Like, I think we were talking to some scouting guys, and I think they were one tree. So it's like, depending on what department, like, I think our guy does talk directly to Preller.
Yeah, one guy was like a guy in the room. The other kooky guy kind of wasn't.
Well, he was the guy in the pit.
He's the guy in the pit. The higher up guy knew Ryan Cohen. Like, we were in Padres hell. They were having a good time. Credit to them. And good. Atlanta, again, I could come up with a speech between Yastrzemski, Robert Suarez and Reisel re-signing. I'm not there yet. Like right now, their shortstop is listed as Mauricio Dubon, who I like Mauricio Dubon. I really like him in a util role. I want to see more than that, but it is, I'll tell you what, something about a 1-2 punch is still really cool. And like Reisel, Robert Suarez, 8th, 9th inning. Yeah, fire me up for that. Let's see what else we've got. Kyle Finnegan to the Tigers. Sure. That's nice. Vaughn Grisham trade. Gregory Soto to Pittsburgh. I wanted him on the Yankees.
So yeah, that's the one move that happened that wish the Yankees were involved.
Get your trade deadlines ready. Steven Matz, 2 years to Tampa. No. Kind of good on that. Mike Soroka to Arizona. That was kind of before. So, I don't know what else is there. Mark Leiter Jr. to the Athletics. Did you know that?
Yeah, that one snuck in right before Robert Suarez went yesterday.
Happy for him. Michael Garcia extension. How exciting is that? Christopher Morel in Miami. You know we're going to be rooting for that. Let me give one last glance at the teams to see if anyone else should be considered a winner or a loser. I mean, after what I saw from the Padres front office, Mariners, Rangers, Astros, Angels. No, I think I'm good.
Lane Thomas, Royal.
Yeah, he always was. I hope he can do good things for them versus lefties. And that's what we're hoping for. Kind of cool. Michael Garcia and Bobby Witt probably on the left side of your infield for 5 years. Again, we don't get a lot of that anymore.
Lock that in. Nice little payday for Garcia.
It's pretty cool. Rooting for that. Other things from winter meetings. We had our fun. Let's wrap up a little footy, maybe some other baseball rumor mill, and it's brought to you by DraftKings. Today's episode is sponsored by DraftKings Casino. The holidays just got hotter. Cash eruption continues to spread the heat and cheer at the DraftKings Casino when those 6+ chili scatters hit on and off the field. Watch out for the cash eruption bonus. New players play $5 and get 500 spins over 10 days on cash eruption games. Sign up today using promo code JAMSPORTS so they know we sent you. DK Casino is safe, secure, and reliable. The other thing, there's an ESPN kind of post-winter meetings article. Jorge Castillo, who we met, we can add him to our friends list. He went to school with one of my buddies. So he walked up to me and he's like, "Hey, you know Shane?" I was like, "I do know Shane. We used to get drunk and wrestle." I didn't mention that to Jorge because he would have thought that was a lie because Shane is a monster. I sent Shane once a text after it all where I was like, "Hey, thank you for not murdering me."
You could have.
Shane played in the NFL. I should not have been wrestling Shane. But we used to. It was on. He says that a Skubal trade is likely, where a lot of people have been doing the dance of Skubal can get traded, but it's probably not likely. I don't know. You guys kind of know my thoughts on it at this point. I'm not going to believe it until I see it. I don't think the value proposition makes sense either way.
But they're shopping.
But he's out there. A player that you would normally think would be an untouchable type is not. Alden Gonzalez didn't get to fully handshake. I think him and Jolly gave each other a nice little, hey, how are ya? He mentions the Glass Now trade rumors. Passan mentions Seager. Seager's interesting. Seager's really interesting. His age and where his contract is currently at, it's kind of a fun game that I don't know if baseball contracts have been just rising so much that, like, a lot of times guys sign those contracts and it's, like, untradeable. Like Pujols, dude. Like Trout?
It feels like all of those
Maybe
deals
just Angels.
are
Maybe it's just
all of
Angels.
those deals are either untradeable
Stanton.
or stay the best value deal like you can imagine.
Stanton, like it's pretty crazy that Seager has 6 years left. He's turning 32 this year. At $31.5 million, like if he was a free agent, he probably clears that. So like Corey Seager has value, and they said the Texas Rangers, you're not getting a salary dump here. This isn't like a Correa type deal. That you need to trade them pieces. It will be interesting to see because if you can add, he's a generational hitter, and sometimes we move past it. And the shortstop defense has kind of
gotten better.
It was a question mark, and it feels more secure. And again, the way he swings the bat, if third or second ever has to happen, if first has to happen, like
hit like that, and it's fine.
I'll get you some numbers, people. The last 3 years, Corey Seager's triple slash, 294, elite, 372, elite, 916, elite. That is while playing the shortstop position. So if he is on the table compared to some of the other moves you can make, and the fact that shortstop is a position that has very limited availability, I'm interested in that. Corey Seager, a Brave? Like, how would you feel about the Braves going into next year if they traded a couple young prospects for Corey Seager? That would change things. Corey Seager can change your team's dynamic, lock up a very valuable position for a while, and just change the whole feel around your organization. That he could be interesting, and I have that as more fathomable than Skubal, just because you know what you're going to get. Let's see. Other rumor mill pieces. Blue Jays, Devin Williams.
There's some trade buzz stuff a little lower down.
Edward Cabrera was getting rumored. Ketel Marte feels real, which is scary. You talk about price tags. Like a lot of teams seem interested in him. And for the Snakes to get off a little money, get very real talent back for maybe the best second baseman in baseball when his value might be peak. Like, if you hold on to Ketel Marte any longer, when there was already rumored about some ruffled feathers within Arizona, peak value, top second baseman, switch hitter, under contract. You know, Ketel Marte, the way we go with baseball, if he gets 1 season older, one more injury, bad production, that contract looks to not look as good. And does he ruffle more feathers in Arizona? That I guess I wasn't in on that. I could now see that happening. Mackenzie Gore, if he's on the table, get it done with the team. If I'm the Baltimore Orioles, my final move of this offseason is I trade for Mackenzie Gore. It's done. He's on the books for 2. I got 2 righty sluggers who combined for 74 home runs. We did the math. Adley bounced back. Gunner, stud. If Holiday, Beavers, or one more lefty takes a leap, you've got a crazy lineup. I guess if they're losers, we're going to be following what the New York team's done. Boston, although Boston's sitting pretty, man. They got ammo, player-wise and money-wise. I guess where did the Dodgers start and stop? And a couple more of those wild card teams. The Cubbies, the Padres. Does Seattle have a trick up their sleeve? Texas, Atlanta. We will see. So, with that, today's Friday, huh? Wow. I'm going to watch football this weekend, and I hope you do. You know what? Let's give it a quick scan. We deserve this for each other. Watch the game last night. How do you like that? How about a little fight from the Falcons? Kyle Pitts going from a fantasy nightmare to potentially a fantasy legend if he puts a couple more of those together for a team. Buccaneers, baby, what is you doing? Couple plays there that you could have basically secured a playoff spot, and now they are toe-to-toe with Bryce Young and the Panthers. How about that? Browns-Bears, no. Ravens-Bengals, messy, but no. Chargers-Chiefs, not the juice you'd think it would have. Bills, Patriots. Yeah, that's kind of the signature game. Again, if you're a sprinkler at the DK Sportsbook, Josh Allen MVP. Like right now, it's kind of Drake May. It's Matthew Stafford. That late season push. Nobody's run away with everything. If Josh Allen has a big game in New England to potentially bring the division into play, although it could be gone, either way, Josh Allen's stats can still get to a different spot, and there can almost be the AFC is doing this like, oh shoot, if the Bills and Allen are in it, all of their enemies might not be. Like it could be Broncos, Patriots in the way instead of Chiefs, Ravens. That there's a post-Bills hype train potentially coming. Maybe put a little on Josh Allen or Drake May. Whoever wins this game has a really good chance of winning MVP. Commanders, Giants, no way. 3-10 versus 2-11. Yikes. Raiders, Eagles, no. Unless you're into potentially seeing the demise of a franchise if they somehow blow this one to the Raiders. Jets, Jags. Jags are 9-4. Did you know? Probably 10-4 after playing the Jets. Cardinals, Texans, no. Texans hype train has kind of left the station. That defense, they're probably about to go to 9-5. Packers, Broncos at 4 p.m. Classic. I mean, this is also classic from when I'm getting involved in football. Broncos, Packers, Super Bowl. These two teams feel like they link up at the right time. 9-3-1 versus 11-2. Yes. NFC, Lions and Rams at 4:30. Okay. 4:30 slate. I smell you. Panthers, Saints, no. Titans, Niners, no. Colts, Seahawks, sure. A lot of Seahawks hype this week. Rumors that them and Rams could be playing for the 1 seed in the NFC. That could be a lot of fun. Hey, it's looking late. Vikings, Cowboys at night. That's not a need. But that 4 p.m. Sunday, that could be fun. And even some NBA Cup tomorrow. Magic Knicks, 5:30. I've got it on the calendar. Maybe the Cup has won. And then it is OKC versus San Antonio.
Sounds right.
Did I make that up?
I'll do a double check.
Let's see. Final double check. Hornets Bulls tonight.
Correct.
Go check that out. Yeah, Spurs OKC. So if you're looking to get your NBA toes dipped, which I kind of am, and that's just a weird way to phrase things. Knicks Magic is the Magic are starting to click. Spurs OKC, Wemby versus this 24-1 Thunder. If you like history. And man, I don't know. I wasn't a Thunder stan. Like, it's cool. Like, Shea for me is a 7 out of 10. Again, not even the foul baiting stuff, but it's, I don't know. There's just other NBA guys that are flashier or whatever. Catch thine eye a little higher. Don't get me wrong. He's a stud. I think he deserved MVP and all that. And the team is so good. Man, I forgot how pure those MFers are. And if you haven't seen it, go check out the video clip of them making the sideline reporter bark. The sideline reporter for the Thunder might be my size. I might have him beat. Tough, he stands next to NBA critters. I stand next to Jolly Olive. Little male pattern baldness. That's okay. We don't shame on this show. But not the guy you assume is Joe Cool with NBA players. I would say that about myself, by the way. But they did, like, after one of their victories, they did their Thunder, like, all the players circle around. So I think he's interviewing Shea. Again, this is the MVP of the NBA. Like, max contract, star of the league, is going to be looking like he's going to climb all-time leaderboards if they start racking up rings and, like, he's the best player and et cetera, et cetera. After the interview, Shea says, no, we're not done here. I need you to woof. And the sideline reporter barks for them. And they all freak out. And not in like a weird, we're torturing you way because we're NBA stars. It was like, no, you're our boy. Like, you're with us. You are part of the Thunder. And it's these guys that have a chance to go down as NBA legends. They're 24-1. Shea, Chet, J-Dub, like, they are so pure that I kind of forgot. I know it happened quickly, and I guess come playoff time, who cares? Like, that's kind of the truth of it, right? Like, come playoffs, you just want dubs. Well, they got them last year. And now they're 24-1, goofing like an AAU team with, like, the local newspaper reporter who's also, like, in their class. That they're just like, oh, he's our guy. Very different than what was considered the NBA culture, and cool. Like, they're just good dudes. Again, final note. It was Kirk Herbstreit, who called last night's game, said Bijan Robinson, the first time he met him, told Bijan to tell whoever raised him that they did a fantastic job. I'm debating if I want to add that to my pitch mix. I think I need to be like 10 years older. It's a very nice thing to say. And I was also like, I guess the other part of that I would ask Kirk Herbstreit, how many people does he tell that? Is that a once a week thing? Or is that like a once a year? Once a year, kind of cool. Once a week, kind of much. Anyways, all right. Thank you guys. Sorry for the delayed release. A lot going on this week. Next week's a semi-normal week, I think. So check out Monday and Wednesday. We will see you there. Subscribe, share, go sports. We love you.